Okay, so think about this. You know that one friend who cancels plans last minute every single time? Or that person who needs 3 whole days just to think about something while you already made a decision in 30 seconds? That's not random. And it's not because they're being difficult. There is a real, science-backed system that explains why people act the way they do. Why you act the way you do. And by the end of this video you're going to know exactly what your type is. Here's the deal. There are 16 personality types. 16. And right now, one of them is yours. Most people think personality types are just a box you get shoved into. They're not. They're more like a lens, the lens you see the entire world through. And once you know yours, you stop fighting yourself. You start working with yourself. So let's figure out yours. Right now. Together. Hey everyone. Welcome. So today we are cracking open the Myers-Briggs personality types, and we're not just going to talk about them. We're actually going to figure out your type. Together. Right here in this video. So stay close. This one's worth it. What are personality types actually? Before we jump into figuring out your type, let's just get clear on what a personality type even is. Simply put, it's a pattern. It's the consistent way you think, feel, and act. And it stays with you. It doesn't change based on the weather or what mood you're in. It's just you. Think of it like this. Imagine two people walk into a brand new city they've never been to before. Person A immediately wants to explore. They want to find the hidden streets, talk to locals, figure it out as they go. Person B wants to look at the map first. They want to know the layout, plan a route, and then go explore. Neither one is better. They just experience the world differently. And that right there is personality at work. The Myers-Briggs system is basically the most well-known way we have of mapping those differences out. And here's the thing, we're not going to just talk about it. We're going to use it. On you. Right now. How this actually works. Alright. So here's how Myers-Briggs works, and this is actually way simpler than people make it. Now this isn't a diagnosis. It's a framework. A really useful one. But it's a lens, not a verdict. Nobody is a perfect fit for one type. It's about finding the one that feels closest to the truth. There are 4 questions. That's it. 4 questions, and each one has 2 sides. You pick the side that sounds more like you. Do that 4 times and you get a 4-letter code. That code? That's your personality type. And I'm going to walk you through every single one. So here's what I need you to do. As we go through each one, just think about which side sounds more like you. Not who you wish you were. Not what sounds cooler. Just the real you. You ready? Let's go. Where does your energy come from? All right. First one. Think about a long, exhausting week. Like, you've been going non-stop. Everything is finally done. You have the whole weekend to yourself. What do you actually want to do? Some people, and I'm talking a lot of people, their first instinct is to get out. Call some friends. Go somewhere. Be around people. That energy, that pull toward other people, that's what we call extroversion. And if that's you, your first letter is E. But then there are people who hear free weekend and think finally. Time alone. Time to recharge. Time to actually breathe. That pull inward? That's introversion. And if that's you, your first letter is I. And here's the important part: there is no wrong answer here. Introverts aren't shy. Extroverts aren't loud. It's simply about where you get your energy from. So, E or I, think about it. Remember your answer. And whatever you just picked? That's not a flaw. That's just how you're wired. And that's actually a really good thing. How do you take in information? Okay. Number 2. Imagine someone tells you about a big project at work or a big decision you have to make. How do you naturally start processing it? Some people immediately zoom into the details. The facts. The specifics. What's actually in front of them right now. They want to know exactly what's happening, and they trust what they can see and experience directly. That's called sensing. And if that's you, your second letter is S. Other people? They zoom out. They start thinking about the bigger picture. What does this mean? Where could this go? What's the pattern here? They're reading between the lines, thinking about possibilities, not just what's in front of them. That's called intuition. And if that's you, your second letter is N. Think of it this way. Sensing types trust the recipe. Intuitive types look at the recipe and start experimenting with it. Think about how you naturally process new information. S or N, got it? Hold on to that. One thing before we get into this next one, and this applies to the rest of the video too. If at any point you feel torn between two sides, that is completely normal. That doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It just means you're human. So if you feel stuck, just go with whichever one you default to when things actually get tough. That's your real answer. Trust that. How do you make decisions? All right. This next one, a lot of people actually struggle with this one. Because it gets personal. Think about a time you had to make a tough decision. Maybe it affected other people. Maybe it didn't have a clear right answer. How did you approach it? Some people, they step back. They look at the logic. They weigh the pros and the cons, look at the facts, and go with what makes the most sense on paper. That's called thinking. And if that's how you roll, your third letter is T. But other people, and this is just as valid, they lead with how it feels. They think about the impact. They consider how it's going to affect the people involved, including themselves. They go with what feels right in their gut. That's called feeling. And if that's you, your third letter is F. Neither one of these makes you a better decision maker. They're just two different ways of getting to an answer. T or F. Which one is you? And seriously, if you're a feeling type and you just felt a little guilty about that, stop. Leading with your heart is not a weakness. It's actually one of the most underrated strengths out there. How do you like to live your life? Last one. And this one is a good one. Think about your ideal week. Like, the way you actually want your life to flow. Some people, they like structure. They like having a plan. They like knowing what's happening and when. They feel good when things are organized and figured out in advance. That's called judging. And if that's you, your last letter is J. And honestly, J types are the reason the world actually runs. Someone's got to have the plan. Other people? They like to keep things open. They don't want to be locked into a plan. They like having options. They're totally fine not knowing exactly how things are going to go, and honestly, a lot of them do their best work when things are a little spontaneous. That's called perceiving. And if that's you, your last letter is P. J or P. What's yours? Okay. So, you should have 4 letters in your head right now. Maybe something like ENFP, or ISTJ, or INTJ. Whatever yours is. Put them together. That right there, that 4-letter code? That is your personality type. And here's what I want you to understand. You just figured something out about yourself that most people never actually sit down and think about. That takes self-awareness. And that matters. Now let's talk about what your type actually means. Because I'm going to give you a quick snapshot of some of the most common types, and you might just hear yourself in one of them. ENFJ, the natural leader. If you got ENFJ, you probably already know what everyone around you is feeling. Sometimes before they even say it. You walk into a room and you just read it. And here's the thing, that's not something you learned. That's just how your brain works. People come to you when things get hard. Not because you tell them what to do, but because they just feel safer when you're there. INTJ, the strategist. INTJ? Your brain is running about 3 steps ahead of everyone else in the room, and most people have no idea. You don't say it out loud. You just see things. Patterns. Outcomes. You've probably been told you're too quiet or too serious. But the truth is you're just thinking at a different speed. And when you finally decide to move on something, it's already figured out. ENFP, the dreamer. ENFP's your brain genuinely never stops. You know that feeling where you're falling asleep but your mind is already somewhere else, jumping from idea to idea? That's just Tuesday for you. You feel things deeply. You care about people in a way that can actually wear you out. But when something clicks, when you find something that actually matters to you, the energy you bring to it is unreal. ISTJ, the reliable one. If you're an ISTJ, here's something you probably don't talk about. You carry a lot. Quietly. You're the person who actually follows through. The one who keeps things running. And most of the time, nobody notices. Because that's how it works when you do your job well. But I see it. And honestly, the people around you are way better off because of you. Even if they don't say it. Now, if your type wasn't one of those 4, don't worry. There are 16 total, and every single one of them has real power. The important thing is that you know yours now. And that changes everything. Okay, I need you guys to do something for me right now. Drop in the comments your 4-letter type and finish this sentence. I just found out I'm a blank, and it explains so much about why I blank. Fill in those blanks. Be honest. Be specific. I actually want to know. Like, I just found out I'm an INFP, and it explains so much about why I overthink every single decision I make. That kind of thing. Go. I'm reading every single one. Before you go, I want to leave you with something. Understanding your personality type isn't about putting yourself in a box. It's about giving yourself permission. Permission to be the way you are. Permission to stop comparing how you do things to how someone else does them. Permission to say, this is how I'm wired. And that is not a flaw. That is a feature. The most self-aware people? They know their type. They know their tendencies. And then instead of fighting against themselves, they actually start working with themselves. That is the real power here. And the fact that you just sat down and figured out your type, that tells me you actually care about understanding yourself. And that is genuinely one of the most powerful things a person can do. So don't underestimate yourself. You are exactly the type you're supposed to be. And that is more than enough. Alright, if this video helped you see yourself a little differently, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button. It seriously helps this reach more people who need to hear this stuff. And if you're not subscribed yet, do that too. I've got way more videos coming on stuff just like this, things that actually help you understand yourself and the world around you. And one more thing, share this one. Think about someone in your life, a friend, a sibling, anyone who you think could actually benefit from understanding themselves a little better. Send this to them. Not for me. For them. Because honestly, everyone deserves to feel seen. Alright. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care of yourselves.